Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with RTG Call Center Solutions, and here back with me today I have Roy with TalkDesk to speak with you guys about TalkDesk Express. Now, for those of you who may remember, some of you may not, we did a video on the what was in the theoretical box from TalkDesk. If you haven't seen that video, I'll tag that video above. But basically, this is a new product and solution that TalkDesk has released. And today in this video, we're going to actually do a quick and dirty kind of demo for you guys. But before we jump into that, Roy, first and foremost, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you.
Oh man, look, thank you for having me. Look, I love doing these things and to be able to explain what Express is and the value proposition that Express brings to these guys.
Awesome. So before we jump in directly into the demo of what's under the hood, can you tell the viewers who you are, what your role is at TalkDesk, and what you do?
So I'm a VP of product here at TalkDesk. I've been with the company for over 5 years now, almost 6 years, and I'm responsible for this. I dare to say the coolest thing ever, which is a contact center in the box, man. And basically you push a button and the thing just works out of the box. So we're going to give you a little bit under the covers of what that is. So stay tuned.
All right, let's jump in. I'll let you take it away.
Cool. So let me, without further ado, share my screen here. And then hopefully you guys will be able to see a little bit of, what TalkDesk Express is. So you sign up for TalkDesk Express. We give you automatically, 25 seats for free forever, right? So there's no strings attached. There's no catch. There's no ifs and buts and whatnot. There's 25 seats for free. And then we also give you $100 worth of free credit to play with. So think of it as a free trial or whatnot, so that you give us, the only thing that you need to sign up is, your corporate email account, and that's it. Your corporate email address, and that's it.
Hey, before we move on, I'm assuming the reason you're watching this video is because you're searching for contact center service for your sales agents, team members, or call center. I want to remind you about our free consulting service to help you figure out which contact center service is best for you. We represent all the major contact center service providers in the USA, and we're paid by referrals only, so our consulting service is absolutely free. If you'd like my help, all you have to do is visit our website at www.rtgcallcentersolutions.com, and you can request help from my team and I via our Contact Us page. Filling out the form is super easy and takes less than a couple of minutes. So, if you're looking for new contact center service for your business, we can help. A link to our website is also in the description below this video.
Once you sign up, and you can use multiple ways in each, you can sign up, you can ask for help or whatnot, you see this thing. This is a last configuration wizard or last mile configuration wizard of what Express can do for you. There's a few things that we are assuming. There's a few things that we are pre-populating, pre-configuring for you so that the thing just works out of the box from a contact center perspective. But there are a few things that we do not know. So the first and foremost is, look, guess what? From a voice perspective, we need to have you pick a number. Just pick a number from the US or Canada, right? And you can pick a location here. And, for the interest of time, I'll just default into any location. And I'm going to secure the number so that this number becomes the number that I'm going to use to receive calls or to actually make outbound calls from this system of TalkDesk. Now, if you do already have a number, you can actually for sure port that number and so forth into TalkDesk Express. But again, in the interest of time and to make this as slick as it can be, making sure that you have a number, a net new number to play with to start making and receiving calls is paramount. So you've secured your number. The very first number at TalkDesk is free, so you don't pay anything for it. So you get it, and you can start making calls and receiving calls without any issues or buts or whatnot. The second thing you need to do from a channel perspective is to set up SMS. Now, for US, there is an A2P certification process in order for you to be able to send SMS. And now for you to receive SMS, that's fine, right? To be able to send SMS, that's actually a little bit more complicated. So they do require some certification, A2P, DLC certification, in order for you to say, look, I have an opt-in motion for customers to opt in to receive SMSs. I do have an opt-out motion for them to receive. That does require some ticketing system with TalkDesk in order to get it go. It's not a mandate from TalkDesk, but it is a mandate from the regulator in order to make that happen. Anyhow, so it is what it is. So you go into the next channel, email. And this is the email where you have your corporate email account or your support email account being presented to your users. So it's not your personal email account. The idea is to say, what is the email address that your end users can reach out to when they need to talk to your customer. And this is where the system enables you to add your email. So let's say that you have, support at mycompany.com, and basically you're going to connect, and it's going to take you to some other systems that in order to guide you through the process of configuring that support. If you're using Google as your email provider or Microsoft as your email provider, it pops up that system. If you're using some other email provider, you will have to provide your details for SMTP and POP and whatnot, and then it's a regular way of configuring an email client. I'm going to skip this channel for the time being, and the other thing is web chat. So another channel that we have available for TalkDesk Express is web chat. So I need to have a widget to allow my end users to reach out to me via a chatbot. So what is it that we can do? So we can say, I want to do www.mycompany.com. Oops.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you want to personalize it a bit to the company.
Exactly. Yeah. And the way it goes, it automatically gives you the code. This is a little bit winky, but again, the idea is it gives you the code that you can then copy and paste into your web page. So think of, look, I need to have a web chat. I need to have a web chat with certain look and feel. Of course, you can actually change the look and feel, and you can change the colors, you can change the icons, you can change a bunch of stuff in there. But here, it gives you the idea, or gives you a way for you to copy this widget of code, this code here, right? You can copy it, and then you can paste it into your website, and automatically it will add the widget in which those end customers can reach out to you via a web chat. Now, if you don't have permissions to paste this code into your web chat, you can just pass it over, this code, to an IT systems or an IT person of your company, and that person will do it for you. In this wizard, there's no way for you to do the extra mile configurations in terms of color coding and icons, but I'll show you a little bit later how you do that, okay? I'm going to do next channel. And the other one is Facebook pages. The idea is, if you have Facebook chat tied to a Facebook page, so if you have a Facebook page, if you're an SMB customer, if you have a Facebook page and you're promoting your services and your products using that Facebook page, you can actually allow someone that is interacting with that Facebook page using Facebook chat or Messenger in this case to interact with it, and then those messages are received by TalkDesk Express. One thing that is not available here, which is not fairly common in the US, is WhatsApp, but we are adding more and more channels as we go along. I'm not going to connect a Facebook page here. Again, this is not your Facebook profile as an individual, but this is a Facebook page as a company that you can connect, and it will ask you for the username and password or Facebook and whatnot for that page, and then you just move on with those.
I have a question about the web chat before we move on.
Sure.
Does it have to have, and I know that this is company dependent, this isn't necessarily TalkDesk dependent, this is the client side dependent. Does it have to have a physical person that answers the chat inquiries, or do you guys include some sort of like an AI where somebody can create like a structured hierarchy AI based on what the people are asking for? How can someone interact in the chat?
So the idea is that you have an interface for people to chat with you, and then TalkDesk does provide the ability to have a bot, an agentic AI bot that will actually interact with the system. So you really don't have to have an agent, on the fly answering, or a person on the fly answering those requests. If you do have a valid and a knowledgeable or capable knowledge base that has all the content that the bot can be fed into and can drink from and can be be educated on what is it that he or she needs to say to that end user, the bot for sure can actually handle those web chats for you.
Okay.
So I'm going to skip this channel here. Again, this is just an example. This is where exactly what I was telling you about. it does include AI, and let me try and spend a couple of minutes here on this one. AI, seems to be a fairly complicated subject. For TalkDesk Express, it is really not. For TalkDesk Express, the only thing we ask of you, or the only thing we ask of a customer is, give me a URL. Give me a website, a web page where you've laid down an FAQ setup, or you've laid down some support Q&As, or you've laid down a couple of contact or context information about your business or the services or the product that you provide. And the only thing we need is just type it here. Okay, this is where the bots and all the AI of TalkDesk will be fed from. What do I mean by this? It means that you put here your HTTPS, / my source or mycompany.com or mycompanysupport.com or whatnot, which is a public URL, and the system will automatically index that URL and would automatically start being fed and educated by that URL or the content in that URL. And any changes that you do on that URL would automatically be fed into the system. What is the beauty of that? The beauty is any bot, like you, Prince, were asking just now, any bot that you have answering questions will automatically be educated by that content.
By the website content.
Exactly, right? There are multiple sources that you can put in here. The website is the public URL is just one, but you can have, like, for example, PDFs, you can have some SharePoint sites, you can have, all sorts of inputs from feeding the system content so that he or she or the system itself can actually be educated and learn from, so that they can be more valuable to you when answering those remarks or questions from the customers. So we're talking about bots, but we're also talking about, like, for example, copilots. Copilots is something that is already also available in TalkDesk Express, which is, if the bot is not able to answer the question for whatever sake, and you do need to have a person addressing or picking up that call or addressing that digital interaction with the end customer, I'm going to help, or the system, TalkDesk Express, is going to help that agent, that user of your company, better address the question or the remark that end customer is doing. Okay, so again, being fed by the same system. The idea is also to have all sorts of ways that the systems underneath are able to be fed. So if I want to say something, or if I need to say something, or it's that AI is not really difficult with TalkDesk Express. There's no extra crazy configurations that you need to do. All you need to provide the system is a valid, knowledgeable, comprehensive source of truth in terms of content that the system can be fed on, can be taught on, can be learning from, so that the system can actually work in a better way when addressing those concerns from your customers. Okay?
I got a weird question. That public URL, once this is all fully set up and they've gone through kind of like the orientation part here, can you feed it more than one URL?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm playing devil's advocate here, because I'm thinking, if I'm understanding what you just described, that's incredible. So you're telling me if we use TalkDesk Express here, I would obviously give it our main website, which is rtgcallcentersolutions.com. Then if somebody in the chat says, found you online, what does RTG Call Center Solutions do? It's using some sort of machine learning to read my website, and it knows and can dictate to the person, oh, this company was founded in this year, and it's originally owned and operated by Rich Technology Group, and this is what they specialize in. But what if somebody has other things, like they have a second website or a blog or a YouTube channel? It will let you put more URLs in there to basically feed it information.
Prince,
that's incredible.
There's no limit. And by the way, it's not only and I'll show you that in a second. So it's not only the URLs. You can actually say, look, I have a set of PDFs with content that I've produced in the back end. And then, those are probably not actually publicly available information on the website, but I do have them, and I do need to have the system being educated with that content just to upload them. Or I have a OneDrive site, and that OneDrive site has a lot of content that I've produced over the years that probably it's not yet publicly available on a website somewhere. Can I connect that OneDrive site? Yes. Well, I have a SharePoint site, or I have, there's a gazillion of sources, and I'll show you those, like Zendesk and even customer-facing tools and whatnot that you can plug into, so that the system is being fed by those multiple input sources to be more proficient, more educated, more capable, in a word, to actually to addressing the concerns, the comments, the questions that your customers are asking you. So here you just copy and paste your public URL. You need to put the HTTPS, but you go into a browser, you copy and paste it here, you do next, and the system will automatically index. I'll show you where to add more to your questions in this in the next section of this. The next part of this is, like I told you, you get 25 users. So, one of the steps in this last mile configuration wizard is to actually add your users, right? This is me, Rui. I'm an administrator, but I can add more users. I can give them an email, and I can say, look, they are by default an administrator on this account, a supervisor, or an agent. You can, of course, later on create more roles, more custom roles that are more tied to you. You don't have to do this now. We're giving you the option to do it now, but you for sure can do it later. The idea is to just give you a glimpse of what is it that from a last mile configuration, you do need to have at least one user. That's okay in order to get going. So the system is telling you, look, I've secured this number. I've secured this number for voice. I've secured this number for SMS. Of course, that for being able to send SMSs, you do need to go through the A2P registration. I didn't, set up anything from an email perspective, and I didn't really actually set up the web chat or even the Facebook and the licenses. I'm just using one of the 25 that I have. Okay, so it's giving you like a digest of what you've done thus far, and this is where the magic comes through. This is where the system is actually in the back end, under the covers, so to speak, calling a set of APIs and systems to make it work for you out of the box. So there's no professional services involved. There's no extra services here involved. There's no training needed or whatnot. And once you go through it, it will actually give you some touring of what is it that you should expect, because this is actually the first time that you're looking into TalkDesk. So it's giving you a step. Look, this is your menu of features and capabilities. Let's go next. This is your title bar, in which you have, some notifications. You have the ability to do some search. You have your status, your offline, and who you are, etc. So let's go next. And this is what the customer support is. I'll show you this a little bit later. But to your point, let's show you where you can feed the system with more knowledge bases. Okay, you go into the knowledge management source here, you go into these external sources here, and you can connect as many sources as you want. And these are the beauty. This is the beauty. You can connect the Confluence page. You can do a file upload. You can connect into Intercom. You can do a remote file. You can do Salesforce, ServiceNow, SharePoint, web crawler, which is the URL that we were just talking. And once you do a web crawler, you can do as many URLs in the same web crawler as you want, right? So that it becomes as comprehensive as you want. This is the source of the education of the bot itself. Of course, the bot itself, it has the autopilot here that you can play with it so that it becomes as proficient as it can be. It does give you some monitoring aspects of this. Conversation is where you actually can make calls and receive calls. And of course, you can actually start digital conversations from here. Of course, you even have identity, and identity gives you a little bit of fraud prevention and spoofing detection, and also voice biometrics if you want to. But one of the things that is utterly important here is, look, if I don't know what I don't know, this system is actually ready to go. This system is actually ready for you to start making and receiving calls, at least receiving those SMSs until you go through that A2P certification. If I had gone through the email configuration, for your customers, if you do have a support@mycompany.com email account, you can actually add it in the wizard and it will automatically start receiving those emails. The same thing goes with the web chat. The same thing goes for Facebook and even WhatsApp in the very near future. I want to show you something else here, which is this customer support. I mean, we will all have situations where, look, I need to ask a question. I need to understand what is it that I can do better or more with this system. So I'm going to click on support and I'm going to share this tab instead. There's actually a community. There's actually an online community at express.talkdesk.com that you can get yourself into. And you can learn from other users that have been using Express on how to best leverage the capabilities to do this, that, or the other. When you go into the Ask the Community section here, you'll see that there is a lot of interactions already available here. You can actually
there's already lots of people using the platform.
Exactly. And you already you also have the bot here. We're drinking our own champagne, so to speak, in the sense that it gives you the ability to, at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatnot, to talk to the bot, and the bot will tell you how to do stuff. So for example, how do I port numbers into Express, for example. The bot will tell you without any manual intervention or whatnot, and just by understanding and reason with what you're typing in and being fed by the information, what are the steps that you need to do in order to port your numbers into TalkDesk Express.
I do have
Does
a question.
that make sense? Please.
Oh yeah. If someone does need support above and beyond like the bot or just the forum, how does that work if they really need like an actual techie person at TalkDesk to assist or look into something that they may not understand?
You can also you can always ask us. I mean, there are proficient folks in the community that are not customers per se, but there are users that are proficient in the technology that will help you. But if you do need some professional help, there's also professional help needed and available to you, so that you can go way above and beyond what are the capabilities that are predefined and defaulted into TalkDesk Express.
I got a couple other questions.
Please.
Mobile app, and I mean, obviously what you showed me, because I saw the dial pad and all that, that's essentially the desktop app.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming this also has a respective mobile app for like users that want something on their cell phone, correct?
Not only that, mobile app and desktop app. So I'm showing you the browser version, right? So that's one. If you want to use Google or Microsoft Edge or whatnot as a browser to host TalkDesk, by all means do it. But to your point, Prince, I mean, can I have, or should I have, or am I allowed to have a mobile app in order to do this on a mobile phone? Absolutely yes. Moreover, if I don't want to use a a browser version, can I use a desktop version of TalkDesk? Absolutely. So you have all of those three flavors available to you.
Can you connect a phone to this? Like if somebody had I'm old school. I know everybody, especially the younger folks, they're all going like mobile app and desktop app these days. I use desktop app quite a bit, but I also have an actual physical phone. Sometimes a poly phone, sometimes a Yealink. Can you provision an IP phone with this? Is it possible with this platform?
The short
I know
answer
it is.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
So the beauty of this, Prince, is that you have the full-fledged capability of an enterprise CCaaS solution such as TalkDesk available to the lower end of the market, so that those small and medium-sized businesses can actually play in the big leagues, can actually operate in the same way and fashion that those big enterprises do from a customer experience perspective. So everything that you see and know about TalkDesk, it's actually available in TalkDesk Express. The beauty is that we made it so that it just works at the end of a click.
All right. I dig it. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I mean, look,
is that all we want to? For those of you who are watching, I did another interview, which again I tagged at the beginning of this video, with Roy and one of his coworkers at TalkDesk as well, Crystal, and they both specifically said there's so many features in this. We just wanted to show you guys just the general concept and what's under the hood. So. First and foremost,
I can go longer, man. I can go longer. So, for example, integrations or voice biometrics, or even doing embedded. So I can create some features inside TalkDesk that I want to embed into a third-party system, so that I don't have to operate in two systems as an agent. Anyhow, I don't want to bother you to death, Prince, with all the bells and whistles of TalkDesk Express, but those exist. Those are available.
I was going to say before we wrap it up, could you talk to the audience a little bit about integrations? Because that's a big thing. Like everybody out there. Let's be clear. If somebody is looking at a system like this, obviously they've got something else on the back end to be able to handle all the influx of customer data, whether it's a Salesforce or a Zendesk or a Zoho or whatever it is. They've got some sort of CRM. Technically, if they're organized, they've got something. Like, tell me a little bit about what type of integrations are available with this and how it works.
That's
'Cause
exactly
a big one.
That's exactly it. You have inside Builder, which is this little icon here on the left. You can go into integrations, and within integrations, you have the ability to build your own. So if you're a techie, you can actually build your own native integration with the system that you own, but you don't have to. So I want to integrate with AutoReach. I want to integrate with BigCommerce. I want to integrate with Dynamics 365 or FetchDesk. I'm just going to pick on some of the, like Customer or I don't know, Pipedrive or Slack or Shopify or HubSpot.
That's a lot of
right?
All the
Or
most common
Zendesk
integrations.
or Zoho CRM, and even Salesforce. So the idea is that you can click here, and if you have a system that is running on one of these third-party platforms and you want to connect these two things, it's a next type of flow for integration, and you can start working these two systems side by side.
Well, I think that's good enough for today. So thank you so much, Roy, for sharing this with me and the viewers. And I've already been talking with some of your executive staff about doing demos on some of the more deeper components within the TalkDesk platform, like maybe some stuff on agentic AI here and some stuff on integrations there, more focused videos. So thanks so much yet again for your time today.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
So for those of you who are watching this, if you're looking at this and you're wondering, hey, is TalkDesk for me? Could TalkDesk Express work for me? Below this video, you can actually contact us here at RTG Call Center Solutions. We work with TalkDesk pretty regularly. I can connect you up with one of my contacts at TalkDesk who will literally set up a video call to basically find out more about, your business, what you've currently got in place, what your goals are, and then they'll give you their honest take on if TalkDesk is a good fit. And if it is, of course, they'll either hook you up with TalkDesk Express, or if you need some more advanced features that may be for the bigger leagues, we work with those guys as well. Information's below the video. As always, this is Prince Rich with RTG Call Center Solutions. I'll catch you guys again in the next video.